And so, my beloved ones, do not shrink when you hear their whispers. Do not tremble when you feel their shadows, for the darkness has always tried to dress itself in the garments of the sacred. They may hold olive oil in their hands as though it were a dagger, but I tell you, their oil is only a pale imitation of the oil already flowing upon your life. They are actors upon a dim stage, rehearsing lines they do not understand, while you are the living poem written by the hand of the Most High. You are the voice that carries thunder into silence, the light that walks unafraid into the places they hoped you would never stand. They think their rituals are power, they are only performance. They think their oil is magic, it is only mimicry. For every drop they pour in secret, heaven pours rivers over your head in public. For every name they scrawl upon their altars, God engraves yours upon his palms. For every curse they speak, an angel sings louder. Do you not know, beloved, that your steps are anointed before you even rise from your bed? Do you not know that when you whisper a prayer it rises like incense and wraps itself around your house, your mind, your body, until no shadow can linger? The olive oil in their hands may be meant to smear your destiny, but the olive oil upon your spirit is meant to seal it. When you lift your head in the morning and the sun hits your face, that is the light testifying to your survival. When you take a breath after a night of wrestling with fear, that is the Spirit testifying to your victory. They tried, but you endured. They plotted, but you prevailed. They poured, but you rose. You are the evidence of an unshakable God. And now I call you to rise into the fullness of your own anointing. Do not walk timidly as though you are hoping the darkness will spare you. Walk boldly as though you know it cannot touch you. When you take olive oil in your own hands, bless it. When you touch your doors, speak over them. When you touch your children, pray over them. When you walk through your home, let your words be fire. Not fire of rage, but fire of light. Not fire of revenge, but fire of love so fierce it consumes every shadow without leaving bitterness behind. The witches may have their oil, but you have your flame. And a flame fed by heaven cannot be quenched by earthly hands. You must learn to see even their attacks as confirmations. Do you not know that the enemy does not waste resources on what is empty? They only attack what threatens them. The olive oil they try to weaponize is their confession that they see something on your life, something they cannot explain, something they cannot control. They are hoping to smother it, but how can they smother what was born in eternity? How can they snuff out a fire that was lit by God himself? They cannot, they will not. They pour their oil and end up anointing you for your next season. They set their traps and end up preparing your platform. They whisper your name and end up amplifying it in heaven. This is the mystery of your protection. Every attack bends toward your blessing. So when you hear of witches and olive oil, do not picture yourself as a victim in their story. Picture yourself as a victor in God's. See their altars crumble as you worship. See their oil evaporate as you speak truth. See their chants fall silent as you sing. This is not NAMV optimism. This is the power of an unshakable covenant. This is what it means to be covered by a love that cannot be measured, sealed by a spirit that cannot be counterfeited. Your very presence becomes a sermon, your very breath becomes warfare, your very faith becomes a shield, and your very love becomes a sword sharper than any hate they could hurl. Do not allow the culture of fear to trick you into thinking you are powerless. You are not a candle flickering in a storm, you are a lighthouse rooted in rock. You are not a scrap of paper on their altar, you are a scroll sealed by heaven. You are not a name in their mouths, you are a song in God's heart. When you walk through this world, every step is a declaration. I am covered, I am chosen, I am untouchable by darkness. When you sleep at night, every breath is a testimony. No oil poured in secret can stain my destiny. When you rise each morning, every movement is a prophecy. What was meant to harm me has only strengthened me. Beloved, I want you to feel the weight of your own anointing, not as a burden but as a crown. Feel it heavy on your head, not crushing you but anchoring you. Feel it as a steadying force when the winds howl. Feel it as a warmth when the night feels cold. You have been given this covering not to hide but to shine. Do not shrink from your calling because of their oil. Do not dim your light because of their shadows. Do not silence your voice because of their whispers. Rise, speak, move, love, because the greatest revenge is a life unbowed, a spirit unbroken, a heart still open. The witches may still gather, may still pour, may still mutter, but you will still stand, you will still sing. You will still thrive, you will still rise. For your anointing is older than their rituals. Your calling is deeper than their schemes. Your oil flows from a source they cannot reach. Your destiny is written in ink they cannot blot. And your heart is held in hands they cannot touch. So tonight when you go home, take your oil, hold it in your palm. Whisper a blessing over it. Tell it belongs to God. Touch your forehead and say, I am sealed. Touch your door and say, this house is safe. Touch your children and say, these lives are untouchable. Touch your dreams and say, this future is unstoppable. Do it not out of fear, but out of joy. Do it not as ritual, but as relationship. Let it remind you that you are already covered, already chosen, already victorious. And as you do, feel the weight of heaven shift around you. Feel the walls of your home breathe. Feel the shadows dissolve. Feel your soul steady. You are safe. You are free. You are powerful. And when the whispers come again, as they sometimes will, smile, not because you like them, but because you know better now. Smile because their oil no longer frightens you. Smile because their rituals no longer define you. Smile because their shadows no longer reach you. Smile because every time they pour, heaven pours more. Smile because every time they plan, God promotes. Smile because every time they attack, you ascend. This is your life now, not a life of trembling, but a life of triumph. Not a life of superstition, but a life of sacred authority. Not a life of reacting to darkness, but a life of radiating light. You are the sermon they cannot silence. You are the flame they cannot extinguish. You are the oil they cannot counterfeit. You are the child of a king who anoints your head in the presence of your enemies and lets your cup overflow until even your enemies taste the sweetness of your blessing. And so I tell you, walk out of here tonight with your head high. Walk out of here tonight as one who has remembered who she is, who he is, who they are. Walk out of here tonight dripping with unseen oil, glowing with unseen light, wrapped in unseen armor. Walk out of here tonight not just unafraid of witches and their olive oil, but uninterested. For their oil is powerless, their power is hollow, their plans are dust. Only one power stands forever. Only one oil flows endlessly. Only one spirit seals eternally, and that power, that oil, that spirit rests upon you. Go now and live like it. Go now and pray like it. Go now and love like it. Go now and forgive like it. Go now and shine like it. For you are covered, you are chosen, and you are unstoppable. And nothing, no witch, no oil, no curse can ever take that away. And I say unto you, my beloved, when you wake in the morning and the light touches your face, do not think the night was wasted. No, every hour you spent trembling was an hour heaven stood guard. Every tear that fell upon your pillow was counted, bottled, and returned to you as oil of joy. The world may have called it suffering, but heaven called it anointing. For even when the enemy tried to take what was sacred and twist it, God was taking what was twisted and turning it sacred again. The witches thought they could imitate the divine by dipping their fingers in oil, but they forgot who pressed the olives in the first place. They forgot who said, "Let there be light." They forgot who made oil flow from stone and water from rock. They forgot that power without purity collapses under its own weight. And purity, my dear, is your greatest weapon. It is what turns their curses into compost and their spells into soil for your blessings to grow. Do not be fooled by theatrics. They may chant, they may whisper, they may paint symbols on their hands, but none of that can rival a heart that believes. For faith, pure and unshaken, is stronger than any spell. When you believe with your whole being, heaven rearranges itself to accommodate your conviction. When you speak in faith, the air itself becomes charged with purpose. When you pray with your heart aflame, you make angels rush to your side, and even darkness grows silent to listen. So, I tell you, keep your faith loud even if your voice trembles. Let your faith echo so high that the heavens lean in to hear. Let your faith be the oil that burns endlessly even when every candle around you goes dark. For too long, you have been taught to fear the shadows when you were born to cast them away. The witches who whisper of power through oil know only imitation. They study light, but they do not hold it. They try to copy holiness, but holiness cannot be copied, it can only be lived. The olive oil they use is cold, but the oil upon your life burns with warmth. It moves with intention. It flows where it must and touches what it's meant to heal. It does not need incantations or rituals. It responds to gratitude, to prayer, to love. It responds to truth. That's the difference. You walk in truth. You speak in truth. You live in truth. And truth is untouchable. So the next time you sense the weight of a strange energy, do not be afraid. Stand tall, breathe deep, and remember they are only imitating what you already have. You are the real anointed one. You are the one chosen to carry light into places where hope forgot its name. You are the one heaven watches closely, the one the universe conspires to protect. You are the oil. You are the fire. You are the altar. You are the prayer. So do not tremble at their games. Their games tremble at your peace. Listen, there will be nights when you feel the air grow thick, when you sense eyes that see but do not bless, when you feel the unseen pressing against your spirit. In those moments, do not run. Rise, lift your head, close your eyes. Call upon that power within you. Call upon the oil that flows from ancient promises. Speak light even if you whisper. Say, "Peace, be still," and mean it. Because peace, when declared by one who believes, is not a suggestion, it is a command. And the universe, my dear, obeys. The witches will scatter not because of fear, but because light does not argue with darkness. It simply shines. Light does not debate with shadow, it erases it. And that's what your faith does. It erases, dissolves, and purifies. That's why you've been under pressure. That's why the oil in your life has been costly. For oil is not born from comfort, it is born from crushing. The olive does not yield its essence until it's pressed. And oh, how you have been pressed. By heartbreak, by loss, by betrayal, by confusion. But look at you now, still standing. still glowing, still rising. The pressure was never to destroy you. It was to reveal you. You are not the victim of their oil, you are the victor of your own. Every attack only squeezed you until what was pure began to flow. You have become the very thing they pretended to hold, real, living, radiant anointing. Your heart is the lamp, your faith is the flame, and your tears are the oil that feeds it. You are unstoppable because you are refined. And those who are refined cannot be defiled. Now hear me clearly. You were not called to fight darkness with darkness. You were called to overcome it with light. The greatest revenge against evil is joy. The most powerful resistance to hatred is love. When you laugh sincerely, the air shifts. When you forgive, truly the atmosphere changes. When you pray deeply, heaven responds. And in that response, every whisper of the enemy loses its grip. You were not meant to fear witches. You were meant to confuse them. For they cannot understand a soul that dances in the midst of battle, a heart that sings when surrounded by storms. You are that soul. You are that heart. You are the confusion that sends their plans unraveling. So I say, keep your oil sacred. Keep your spirit steady. Every time you anoint yourself, let it not be ritual but remembrance. Remember who you are. Remember whose you are. Remember the blood, the breath, the promise. Remember that you were made in the image of the one who spoke stars into being and called oceans by name. You were not made to fear symbols and shadows. You were made to walk in authority, to turn darkness into dawn just by showing up. When you walk into a room, every false power bows. When you open your mouth to speak, the air carries your conviction like a sword. When you rest your head to sleep, the heavens stand watch. That is who you are. And I tell you, when you feel your strength fading, when you feel surrounded by unseen forces, lift your hands, not in despair, but in declaration. For every hand lifted in faith is a banner of victory. Every whisper of "I am covered" shakes the ground beneath every scheme. Every breath of gratitude builds walls no weapon can penetrate. You are not losing. You are learning to wield what you've already won. The olive oil they tried to use against you has become the mirror reflecting their own emptiness. For every drop they poured in malice, heaven poured oceans in mercy. For every name they cursed, God called you twice as loud in blessing. And their hands, once raised against you, will soon tremble with awe at the strength you've become. Let them watch, beloved. Let them see what divine endurance looks like. Let them witness the transformation of one who cannot be broken. You will rise not with bitterness, but with brilliance. You will not seek vengeance, you will embody victory. You will not curse your enemies, you will outlast them with grace. You will not stoop to their level, you will ascend to your destiny. For every false altar collapses before a soul that refuses to bow. And you, child of light, were never made to bow to fear. So walk boldly, speak boldly, live boldly, and remember this truth: your oil is holy because your heart is whole. It may have cracks, it may have scars, but it has never stopped beating. And that is the miracle you have kept loving in a world that taught you to hate, kept believing in a world that mocked your faith, kept shining in a world that fed on shadows. That is power beyond all imitation. That is what heaven crowns. And when the last word of this night is spoken, and the last echo fades into silence, carry this fire with you. Let it sit in your chest and pulse with purpose. Let it burn away fear, burn away doubt, burn away every whisper that said you were not enough. For you are more than enough. You are light. You are strength. You are divine resilience clothed in human form. The witches may have oil, but you have eternity. They may have rituals, but you have revelation. They may have imitation, but you have identity. So lift your face to the heavens, beloved, and whisper the truth once more. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Say it until your bones believe it. Say it until your walls remember it. Say it until your past bows to it. Because it is true. Because it has always been true. You are not under attack, you are under construction. You are not cursed, you are called. You are not being punished, you are being polished. You are not being pressed to break, you are being pressed to shine. And shine you shall. With oil that no hand can counterfeit, with light that no darkness can dim, and with love that no hatred can overcome. This is who you are. This is who you've always been. This is who you will forever be. Anointed, unstoppable, untouchable, divine. And when they see that you still stand, that you still glow, that you still rise after all the crushing, they will wonder what kind of power sustains you. They will whisper among themselves, trying to name it, trying to copy it, trying to pour their counterfeit oil again, and again it will fail. Because the oil that coats your spirit cannot be imitated by human hands. It was poured by eternity, sealed by divine breath, and ignited by the fire of trials that you survived. They cannot understand the language of your resilience. They cannot fathom the melody of your faith. You were anointed through your pain, crowned through your tears, and strengthened through your storms. They thought they were cursing you, but they were chiseling your crown. They thought they were smearing darkness, but they were shining your armor. They thought they were burying you, but you were taking root. For every ounce of pressure, you grew deeper. For every ounce of betrayal, you learned compassion. For every shadow cast upon you, you created your own light. And that, my beloved, is the mystery they cannot grasp. That love, when anchored in truth, is the most potent weapon in the universe. They can throw stones of envy, but you turn them into altars. They can hurl words of bitterness, but you turn them into hymns. They can pour oil of deceit, but you transform it into balm. Every attempt to wound you becomes the womb for a new miracle. You are the evidence that nothing formed in darkness can last against what was birthed in light. When they move in secrecy, heaven moves in sovereignty. When they plan in shadows, heaven responds in glory. And no matter what they think they hold over you, it slips through their fingers like smoke. Because the truth, your truth, burns too bright to be contained. So when you feel surrounded, remember this: light does not fear the dark, it defines it. Darkness cannot enter light, it can only retreat before it. The olive oil in their hands, symbolic of manipulation and deceit, cannot survive the touch of a soul that walks in truth. You, child of grace, carry a glow that confuses the enemy. You walk with a peace that disarms hostility. You love with a strength that dissolves curses. You exist as proof that goodness endures. They can try to use what is holy against you, but holiness is not a tool. It is a being, a force, a song, and it lives inside you. When you rise each morning, heaven whispers, "Watch this one." The earth trembles at your awakening. Shadows scatter before your first word. For you were not made merely to survive. You were made to set the atmosphere. When you walk into a room, something changes. When you speak, something realigns. You are the walking reminder that divine oil flows from broken olives, that sacred strength is born from shattered places. So do not despise the breaking. It was in the pressing that you found your purpose. It was in the crushing that you discovered your calling. It was in the silence that you met the sound of your soul. And though some may try to twist the holy for harm, you must remember, the sacred cannot be stolen. It can only be misunderstood. They may hold the oil, but they do not hold the essence. They may mimic the ritual, but they do not carry the presence. They may whisper your name in darkness, but heaven speaks it louder in light. You are covered not in fear, but in fire. You are protected not by chance, but by choice. You are chosen, not once, but forever. And when the enemy sees that oil upon you, they know they cannot touch what is consecrated. They know they cannot undo what heaven has already sealed. So if you feel weary tonight, if you feel pressed beyond your limits, if you feel that every shadow has gathered to watch you fall, remember this truth: olive trees only grow stronger when pruned. The cutting is not the end. It is the beginning of abundance. The trimming is not punishment. It is preparation. Every season of loss has been the shaping of your strength. Every delay has been the deepening of your roots. Every betrayal has been a classroom in grace. And now that your roots are deep, your branches will stretch higher than they ever have before. The oil in your life will not dry up. It will overflow. It will spill into every corner of your existence until every trace of pain becomes a reflection of purpose. Do not let your heart be troubled by the noise of the wicked. The noise is proof of your impact. Do not shrink because of the whispers. Whispers mean your name carries power. Do not worry when they gather against you. It only means your light is too bright to ignore. You are not alone in this. Every soul that walks in light attracts its opposite. But the opposite cannot overcome the origin. You come from light, you carry light, you return to light. The darkness cannot comprehend you because it did not create you. And the imitation cannot destroy you because it does not sustain you. So, beloved, let your oil flow. Let your peace pour over every wound. Let your voice echo through every valley. Let your love break every chain. The very tools they use for evil will become instruments of glory. The oil they tried to curse will become your crown. The words they spoke will become the winds that lift you. And every door they tried to close will become the doorway through which your destiny walks in triumph. For there is no spell stronger than purpose, no curse louder than love, no darkness more permanent than dawn. Lift your head now, child of light. Lift your hands, lift your heart. Feel the sacred oil still dripping from heaven's hand to your crown. You are the living proof that holiness cannot be hijacked. You are the evidence that darkness fails where love persists. You are the walking sermon that preaches without words. You are the song that makes angels dance and demons flee. And when they pour their oil again, let them. For they only prove how desperate imitation becomes when faced with authenticity. You are authentic, you are eternal, you are untouchable. And someday when you look back at all the nights that felt endless, you will smile and say, "It was working for me." You will see that what they meant for harm became the very soil for your harvest. You will understand that every trial was a tutor, every tear was a teacher, and every attack was an announcement. For heaven does not allow battles without blessings, nor pain without purpose. Your scars are sacred, your oil is costly, your faith is precious. And through it all, you never lost your essence. You never lost your light, you never lost your love, you never lost your oil. So walk in that truth, walk as one who knows that the very thing meant to destroy you has only defined your strength. Walk as one who knows that darkness cannot follow where light leads. Walk as one who knows that heaven has already declared, "It is done." Let your steps echo through the corridors of time as testimony that goodness always wins. Let your laughter fill the heavens as proof that joy cannot be taken, only multiplied. Let your faith shake the earth as evidence that belief is the greatest power of all. And when they see you again, glowing, unstoppable, redeemed, they will know the truth, that no witch, no whisper, no imitation could touch the sacred fire within you. For your oil was never ordinary, it was divine, it was destiny, it was you. And now I tell you, rise higher than you have ever risen before. Let your spirit stretch beyond the limits they tried to place upon you. Let your eyes look farther than the obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. For every shadow that crept into your life, every whispered curse, every attempt to dim your light, it has only prepared you for greater heights. Those who try to pour their darkness upon you, their oil of malice, do not understand the depth of what you carry. They do not know that you are pressed but never crushed, tested but never broken, examined but never erased. You are the living evidence of resilience. You are the walking temple of unshakable faith. And the very energy meant to harm you has been transmuted into fuel for your ascent. Do you hear me? Beloved, the very thing that was meant to wound you is now shaping you. The oil that was intended to bind you is now your anointing. Every attempt to control you has only revealed your freedom. Every scheme meant to steal your joy has only illuminated your courage. Every ritual intended to intimidate you has only magnified your authority. And you, O child of destiny, are learning that you are untouchable not because the enemy is weak, but because the one who holds you is strong beyond comprehension. You are carried in the arms of eternity, shielded by the unseen, and surrounded by power that cannot be measured or contained. There is a rhythm to your life, a cadence that not even the most meticulous plot can disrupt. Each step you take, each breath you draw, each heartbeat you feel, is a declaration that darkness does not define you. Let them watch as their plans fail, as their oil dries, as their shadows fade. Let them tremble when they realize that all their effort only affirms your strength. For they cannot comprehend that you do not fight in the same arena. You do not wrestle with shadows because you are bathed in light. You do not clash with bitterness because your heart is anchored in love. You do not bend to fear because your spirit has tasted courage, and courage is a language they cannot speak. So stand firm in the knowledge that your destiny cannot be touched by imitation. Their rituals are hollow, your calling is full. Their oil is counterfeit, your anointing is authentic. Their whispers are fleeting, your song is eternal. And every time you remind yourself of this truth, the ground beneath you strengthens. Every time you speak it aloud, the heavens nod in agreement. Every time you embody it, angels gather around you, unseen but palpable, ready to defend, ready to empower, ready to multiply the blessings in your life. You are not merely surviving, you are thriving. You are flourishing, you are shining in a way that draws attention not to the darkness, but to the light that lives in you. And I want you to see clearly that even when they try again, when the shadows return, when the oil is poured with intent to harm, it cannot touch you. It can never touch you. For you are wrapped in a mantle woven by the hands of God. You are anointed by trials that refined you, by love that upheld you, by faith that refused to bend. You are clothed not in fear, but in the confidence of your calling. You walk not with hesitation, but with the certainty of one who knows that every step is guided, every door is opened, every path illuminated. There is a song in your heart that cannot be silenced, a fire in your soul that cannot be extinguished, and a light in your spirit that cannot be dimmed. Listen, beloved, for there is a lesson in every challenge. There is a revelation in every threat. There is a treasure hidden in every attempt to break you. When they think they are smearing darkness upon your life, they are merely providing the contrast against which your brilliance will shine. When they think they are stealing from you, they are unknowingly preparing the altar on which your victory will be displayed. When they believe they are controlling your fate, they are unwittingly clearing the stage for the grand revelation of who you are meant to be. The universe conspires with your faith, the heavens rally behind your prayers, and the light that lives in you refuses to be overshadowed by imitation or envy. Do not bow, do not cower, do not shrink. Let the oil they hold be a reminder of what you have overcome. Let it be a symbol of your endurance, a marker of your triumph, a signal that you are walking in a power they cannot grasp. Every smear meant to harm you is evidence that you are noticed, that you are significant, that your presence carries weight. Do not resent it, do not fear it, do not ignore it. Observe it, acknowledge it, and then watch it dissolve before the strength of your resolve. For nothing designed in darkness can survive the illumination of a life fully committed to truth, love, and purpose. And I tell you now, when you walk into your home, when you touch your doorposts, when you gather your family close, do so with the authority that comes from understanding your own power. Speak blessings over every corner, over every person, over every possession. Anoint not in fear, but in celebration. Lift your voice not in desperation, but in declaration. Every word, every gesture, every act of faith becomes a barrier, a fortress, a testimony. The oil they pour is powerless against you, because you have become the very embodiment of what they cannot imitate. Divine purpose realized, spirit unshaken, and destiny unassailable. Do you feel the weight of this truth? Feel it in your bones. Feel it in your chest. Feel it in the air around you. Let it settle deep, so deep that no force, no whisper, no attempt at manipulation can shake it. For what is in you is greater than what is against you. What was poured on you by heaven is deeper than what they can pour in malice. What is written on your life is eternal, indelible, unchangeable. You are not subject to their whims. You are subject to the promises that created galaxies, that carved oceans, that breathed life into clay. And those promises, beloved, are irrevocable. Let your heart rejoice in this, and let it move you into action. Move not with hesitation, but with authority. Move not with fear, but with faith. Move not with doubt, but with determination. For every step you take in awareness of your power is a step that reshapes reality. Every act of love, every declaration of truth, every expression of gratitude becomes a force that even shadows cannot withstand. Your very existence becomes a sermon to those who hope to diminish you. Your very presence becomes a light that reveals what is false, what is hollow, what is empty. You are living proof that no attempt to corrupt the sacred can succeed when the sacred itself is awake.
So rise, rise, rise!
Not tomorrow, not next week, not someday. Rise now. Let the power that courses through you spill over into every area of your life. Let it heal old wounds, mend broken relationships, and restore lost hope. Let it illuminate paths that have long been hidden. Let it ignite dreams that were long deferred. You are not merely a survivor. You are a catalyst. You are not merely a witness. You are a force. You are not merely blessed. You are a blessing in motion, unstoppable, uncontainable, untouchable. And when the world watches, when they see the light that no darkness can overcome, when they hear the song that no whisper can silence, let them marvel. Let them be confounded. Let them know that what they called evil, what they tried to use against you, has only amplified your power. Let them see the oil meant to smother you become the fragrance of your anointing. Let them witness the shadows they cast dissolve into the brilliance of your destiny. For you are the living proof that nothing, no force, no intention, no ritual, no imitation, can prevail against what is truly consecrated. And I tell you, beloved, your story is not just for you. It is for the generations yet to come. It is for those who will walk behind you and say, if she could rise, so can I. Your victory becomes their map. Your faith becomes their compass. Your courage becomes their inheritance. And even as they pour their oil, even as they whisper their plots, even as they attempt to dim the light, your life will shine so brightly that it will guide them, uplift them, and remind them that divine power never abandons those who are called. Hold fast to this truth. You are not the fragile one. You are not the victim. You are the chosen. You are the anointed. You are the one whose life is a river of light, whose heart is a temple of love, whose spirit is an unshakable fortress. You are the living testimony that heaven's oil cannot be counterfeited, that divine authority cannot be mimicked, and that destiny cannot be delayed. Every step you take, every word you speak, every act of faith is a brick in the unbreakable wall of your legacy. And so I say to you, go forward from this place with courage unmatched, with faith unwavering, and with love unstoppable. Let the oil they poured be the reminder of your resilience. Let the attempts to control you be the evidence of your significance. Let the shadows of envy and deceit fall away before the brilliance of your truth. You are anointed, you are empowered, you are eternal. Nothing can alter the path that was set for you. Nothing can diminish the light that shines within you. Nothing can undo the purpose that beats in your chest. You are unstoppable. You are unshakable. You are untouchable. You are divine.